Out this morning, it is going to be a whole lot cooler, Robin. As a matter of fact, in some places, it's going to be downright cold. Taking a look at some of the temperatures across the country for you. Right now in Detroit, it's
bring a
29.
chance of some snow in your forecast. So if you got a sled, you may be able to use your sled for tomorrow, guys, with a little snow in the forecast. For today, though, here's an area of low pressure. It's going to push toward the east. We'll pull down some colder air, so a chance of snow into parts of Kansas City.
Today, and winds will be out of the east 10 to 20 knots, water temperature 57. Boom, here's a look at your Action News 7-day forecast where the weekend is always in view. It's a fish that flies. Yeah, I said flies. And a fish that also fights. And it could wreck commercial fishing in Lake Erie. Right, some places broke into the 60s, guys, today.
Oh, yeah. It was nice.
It was beautiful. We don't have to worry about that storm. We got other things to be worried about.
For you, we've had some smooth sailing over the past couple of days. There is a strong ridge of high pressure that's in control of our weather right now. But what you're looking at right now, this is called a clipper or an Alberta clipper. And this system is going to start diving.
Monica, do you know the reason that you were called into action today?
I certainly do. We've got a wah, wah.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody had a baby.
Yeah, and that's just the way Bob sounds. Bob,
I didn't say that, Bob, okay?
Meteorologist Bob
at the World Weather
Vanderwall.
Center. Monica, you're monitoring the flooding in Indonesia.
Yes, I am, but I was kind of doing my little wee thing for you for just a second there.
The sun will shine again there in Hawaii.
Yeah, they're getting a little sunshine now as it's slowly starting to peak out. Fred, temperature about 73 degrees. And the good news is the reason why the rain has finally stopped is the winds have shifted. When we saw of the rain earlier in the week, the winds were out of the south and east that transport a greater amount of moisture. When now we're starting to see northeast winds, getting things back to normal. So we're pushing all of that moisture downwind of the
Business
island.
Travelers Advisory. Let's go to Monica McNeil. She's at the World Weather Center. Now, Monica, we're hearing all kinds of weather at the moment, but tornadoes striking
Northern
parts
Florida
of
and across central Florida. Let's take a look at some pictures and give you an idea of just the devastation. You can see trees are on top of homes. I mean, these trees snapped like twigs. Devastation throughout portions of northern Florida and into central Florida. That lady trying to sift through what is left of really nothing. Had people trying to just get some of the damage out of there from these major storms that ripped through. Let's take a look at the actual storm system that did move on through. This has all started with a big area of low pressure that is lifted up toward the north with a trailing cold front. You see some very strong thunderstorms race through Florida, producing some very dangerous winds and a lot of heavy rainfall. You can see that squall line that raced on through, pushing off toward the east. The system now is moving at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. The good news is it's now across the Panhandle and down across southwest Florida. We are starting to see some clearing, but still some heavy rain showers will continue across extreme southern Florida as we move on through the rest of the
CNN, your severe weather headquarters.
Tell you what, it's not going to warm up at least for the next 48 hours, Carolyn. Cindy, you do need a hat. That's where all the heat escapes from your head first. All right, taking a look at the satellite, there's a train of moisture across the south, and that's why the south saw some snow in parts of Arkansas and back into parts of Tennessee. But the temperatures is the big story. It's 2 degrees right now in Chicago. It's 18 in Memphis, Tennessee. It's 18 degrees in New York, where the wind chill advisory continues until tomorrow. So we're looking for major devastating flooding in Indonesia. And you know what? At this time of the year, it's very typical that they get the flooding. You get the heavy rain at this time of the year. We see that northeastern monsoonal flow, so that's why we're seeing the heavy rain. Let's take a look at some pictures and just give you an idea of what devastation and what major catastrophe Indonesia is dealing with at this time. You can certainly see the widespread flooding, and the rain is going to continue. It looks like we're going to see rain throughout the rest of the week. You can certainly see the relief effort. They're bringing in tents, they're bringing in food. And unfortunately, with more rain on the way, and that's really going to spell bigger problems for this region. You can certainly see, here's a map, here's a satellite map to show you what's going on. And you can see the widespread cloud coverage, but once again, those northeast monsoonal flow, and that's what's really helping to contribute to all of the rain activity. It's very typical for this time of the year, so we will see more heavy shower activity. All right, taking a look at what's happening across the rest of Asia, mainly northern Asia, we're seeing some really chilly temperatures this morning, and we are starting to see some light freezing fog right around Beijing, temperature 4 below, and Seoul we've got 2 below, so you can see that the temperatures are much cooler to the north and a whole lot milder to the south. We've got 19 right now in Taipei and about 15 degrees in Hong Kong, so a major contrast.
It's supposed to be summer right now, but we have snow in Tasmania.
Yeah, can you believe that? It is actually summertime, but you're right, in Tasmania right here, temperatures have plunged below zero. So in portions of Victoria, New South Wales, that's where we're seeing some snow. Now, normally,
These folks will be dealing with tanning and on the beaches and relaxing and enjoying some really nice weather, but it is snowing there because the temperatures have just plunged majorly, and this is really unusual for this time. Now look around Atlanta and you'll see loft living is growing in popularity. It first caught on big in cities like Atlanta. Now it's also hot in the heartland. As Kim Singer reports, you don't have to give up your country spirit to adopt a city lifestyle.
It was nice.
It was beautiful. We don't have to worry about that storm. We got other things to be worried about. So we certainly need an extra cup of gel this morning.
Does your dog tremble, hide, or bark uncontrollably during a nasty thunderstorm? Marty Tate's 160-pound Newfoundland might look fearless, but he's not.
He just gets very agitated. It's like I was in the house, he is barking and barking and barking and barking, and you just know he's trying to warn you about something.
Pacing and scratching are clear signs of storm phobia.
Dogs with storm phobia have an intense fear of tornadoes, thunderstorms, and the crashing sound of hail coming down on your house. If you notice that your dog is acting very, very nervous during a storm, you may need to get him some help.
Kim Barnett says for the past 6 years, her chocolate lab Hershey's fear of storms has gotten so bad. When lightning struck her house 2 weeks ago, Hershey bolted.
Hershey managed to barrel her way through the storm door that I had closed, and even for a 12-year-old lab, she was moving so fast that I never saw that she had gotten out.
It took Kim 30 minutes to find a very scared Hershey. So Kim turned to Dr. Sharon Crowell Davis, veterinary specialist at the University of Georgia. During treatment, Dr. Davis plays a CD with storm sounds. If the dog remains calm, he's given a treat. Watch closely. As the sound of thunder gets louder, Hershey is starting to get uneasy. Now she's pacing, looking for someplace to hide. A simple reward was not enough for Hershey. She needs drugs to help her cope.
But on serious cases, we always end up having to use medications. Same kind of anti-anxiety medications that we would use in humans.
There was one big clap of lightning one time that kind of, got her, but since then, the smaller, lesser storms really don't seem to bother us.
Excited, pumped up.
And so, since this is the first time, what prompted you to do it?
Just trying to be healthier, get in shape. I was just very excited to get registered.
All right, what about you?
It was a vow that we made earlier in the year. We had a goal. We were going to run this race, and it was exhilarating. And the spirit of the individuals that were participating in the race was outstanding. They were very encouraging.
So do you mind telling us how long it took you to do the race?
Hour, 15 minutes.
That's pretty good for a first-timer.
Yeah, I'm very proud of myself.
Well, you should be. Congratulations to you guys and you too.
Thank you. 35 and I did it.
She's 35 and she did it. So if you didn't do it this year, shame on you. Make sure you do it next year. Kathy, we're going to be out here doing it next year. Back to you in the studio. Commercial fishing in Lake Erie. Fish that fly.
Oh, man.
Even leap into boats.
Grab him, grab him, grab him, grab him. Go well.
The fish are Asian carp. They leap into the air like missiles, right smack into your boat or you.
Got a buddy of mine that got hit head less than a couple weeks ago and knocked him out cold in the boat.
It may look like a joke.
Oh, yeah.
But there's nothing funny about the exploding numbers of fish in the Mississippi and Illinois rivers, heading straight for the Great Lakes.
We don't have at the moment any good way to control their numbers. They're here. As far as we can tell, they're here to stay.
The carp tear up commercial nets and drive off other fish.
If they keep going like they are right now, they'll put commercial fishing out of business here in fresh water. I'll tell you that right now.
They've also reached Chicago. Underwater electrical barriers are going up, trying to jolt the carp away. But if they make it into Lake Michigan, Lake Erie could be next.
Who needs bait?
Yeah. If rabbits was like them things, I'd be happier than hell. I like to shoot rabbits.
That gives me a bad taste in my mouth for fish.
I don't think I would want to be in a boat with those things jumping around.
And you know what? Fighting the fish won't be easy. They were brought to this country 20 years ago to clear algae from catfish farms along the Mississippi. But when the river flooded in 1993, the carp escaped. And now they've been flourishing ever since.
That's always the case. Whenever they bring something that's not natural to the area, it always comes back and bites you.